6/15 November is National Adoption Month. More than half of all adoptions in the U.S. are open adoptions, where the birth mom has a relationship with the adoptive family and sees her child grow up. When I was adopted back in 1975, most adoptions were closed adoptions, shrouded in secrecy. I met a local family who says their family grew exponentially through open adoption, and it's really beautiful. It's on her mind.
Jordan and Sarah Moomey told me about their journey to becoming parents.
Oh gosh, it was all hard.
She has a genetic condition that affects fertility.
Anytime I was dating anyone and it got very serious, I felt like that was only fair to disclose. So yeah, I told him, I was like, this is something you'll have to be okay with.
In October of 2014, they applied to adopt through Crisis Pregnancy Outreach in Tulsa and created this life book explaining why they wanted to become parents.
I knew from the moment that I opened the Moomey's birth book, I knew that would be his parents. The love, everything about them I could feel through the book. They lived out in Skytook, they had land, they wanted a boat. I grew up on a boat. I knew immediately that's who his parents would be.
It's all in someone else's hands until it's finalized. They can change their mind and you have to give the baby back.
Birth mom Carrie Wells was 35. She tells me she had just lost everything she owned. She was in a sober living home with no car, making $7.25 an hour, and she was raising a 14-year-old daughter.
It wasn't fair for her to not have two parents, and it wasn't fair for my child that I was bringing into this world to not have two parents. That's what I wanted for my child, and I knew I couldn't give it to him. I found a way to give it to him. So, I was through open adoption.
Yeah, we'd already had our hearts broken a few times. Right. So it's a lot of pressure. It's always a thing. It's always there in the back of your mind. The whole time, she was just as excited to be giving us a baby as we were to be getting one. Like it was, and she said from the beginning, like, I feel like he's already yours. Like, but at the end of the day, she could always change her mind. Yeah. That was always there.
It was an easy pregnancy. It was a happy pregnancy. I was very happy. It was my ultrasound, so I had them go with me.
That he was a boy, we found out all together.
They were there throughout the whole process.
The Moomeys chose his name, Asher.
It means blessing in Hebrew. We had her pick out his middle name. I think that's the way we can honor her, to be able to do that.
Asher is 9 now, and he's always known Carrie is his birth mom.
He's like, I grew in her tummy.
He's like, was I in your tummy? And I was like, no, you were in Miss Carrie's tummy. You grew there, and that's why she's so special to us and why we love her so much.
He knows that he grew in my belly, but he also knows that, like, Sarah's his mom.
He never has to question anything. He never has to wonder. He will always know where he came from, who he came from.
It was very important because I didn't want to lose the fact of being able to be a mom, being able to be there and see that growth. But since I'm able to see him grow and I'm able to see him thrive and I'm able to see him whenever I want, like, and them too, like, that makes the world to me.
A lot of the girls don't want a place because they worry about, oh, I'm just going to give my baby away and I'm never going to see it again. It doesn't have to be like that. Look what your kid is doing. Look what a blessing they are to so many people.
They treat me like their own, their whole family does. They always have.
It's such a privilege to have someone ask you to raise their child. There's not any way you could pay someone back for that or really thank them. It's a love that you can't explain and you don't understand it until you've experienced it.
Crisis Pregnancy Outreach is a nonprofit. They provide counseling to adoptive parents and lifetime counseling and resources for birth moms, even if they choose to parent. Adoptive couples pay an agency fee that covers counseling, legal expenses, and medical expenses not covered by insurance. The Oklahoma Department of Human Services licenses adoption agencies like CPO.
Like Carrie, almost 60% of the birth moms who place a child with CPO are already parenting older children. CPO interviews all families who apply to become adoptive parents and does a home study. At any one time, the agency typically has 25 to 30 life books on hand of potential adoptive parents for birth moms to choose from. If you'd like to learn more, we've got a link to their website in this story on our website. Go to fox23.com, click on News, then drop down and click on Her Mind. What's on your mind? Send us an email at onhermind@fox23.com.